the black sheep of the family is such a cliche term. Until one day, the penny drops and you realise, oh, huh, I'm the black sheep. So, I always knew what this term meant, right? Black sheep of the family, obviously, the odd one out, right? But I kind of just thought it was like, I don't know, they like Brussels sprouts and the rest of the family doesn't. You're the black sheep. They're the black sheep. They're the ones that love the Brussels sprouts, right? But it turns out that it goes a little bit deeper than actually enjoying Brussels sprouts when the rest of your family doesn't. Because growing up in my early 20s, again, here we go, all epiphanies happen in my early 20s. I started to realise that there is an actual meaning to that term of being the black sheep in the family. Because I don't know, I don't know if anybody can relate to this, right? Because it's a hard one for me. Because I love my family, obviously. You know, we all grew up together and had fun together. But as I did get older and started to get into my early 20s and go out a bit more and leave the family sort of network behind, if you will, because I left my sort of hometown at 19 and moved up to North London, and I've been out away ever since, right? And I'm in my mid 30s. So for me, I kind of stopped the family thing very early on. And I know that there are some people out there that when they get their, they get to 18, they're still quite young and they still want to be really family orientated. Well, I really didn't give a fuck. And I'm so sorry to say it. I love my family, but I do not resonate with them. I do not resonate with them at all. And it was quite obvious as I was getting older when I started to talk about certain things. I started to think certain ways, and I'd sort of ask my family, in passing conversation about certain things, and you start to realise that, I mean, I don't want to, really don't want to sound mean, but it seems as though they are very, yes sir, no sir, three bags full sir, conformity, conformity. Don't question anything outside of the box. This is as it is. And I was, I guess, the one that was the conspiracy theorist of the family, right? I suppose I still am. I'm not so deep into the conspiracy theories, but I've got a lot of stuff I've read, okay, over the years that is probably not on Google anymore, right? So when I would talk about these sort of things, that's when you'd realise that it's not the norm. It's not the norm. Questioning anything outside of what you've been told, don't do that. No. Having some sort of free thinking mind, I was the weird one, right? I was never a problem kid, so I was never told I was a problem kid, but I knew, even before my early 20s, right, growing up as a kid, I knew that I was different. I knew I thought differently to the rest of them. I knew that I was a little bit more in tune with the universe, should we say. And it only got a lot more apparent the older that I got. Like, I am pretty much the only super spiritual one in the family. So, my whole family, just to give you a little bit of a backstory, my whole family have grown up pretty much atheists. So, we never went to church or any. This is what I don't understand, right? So, we never went to church or anything like that. But my mum got me baptized. Okay. So, I've been christened. And she got me christened. Bless her. She got me christened just in case. And I quote, because I asked her, because I was like, Mum, we're an atheist family. Like, why do you get me christened? And she was just like, just in case. And I'm like, okay. So I think she kind of thinks of something, right? But other than that, the rest of my family, as far as I know, have grown up to just, this is the life that you'd live. I guess some of them do believe in ghosts and sort of spiritual, that sort of side. But I'm talking deep spiritual connection, like universal spiritual connection, knowing that we're not human, we've come down here to live a human experience, that deep stuff. I can't talk to my family about that because it's just like it goes, like there's no, I don't know what to call it. And this is what I mean. It's so horrible to say, but I feel like I'm dialed in. That's probably the best way to say it, actually. I'm dialed in where the rest of my family are just like NPCs. And there's only truly two family members that are the closest to me. But even still, I don't feel like they truly connect with me the way that families should. Does anybody else get this feeling that your family just think you are the odd one out, you're the weird one, you're the one that don't fit in, you think differently, you know might dress differently? I mean, for fuck's sake, I've got pink dreadlocks. Like, no one else in my family has crazy colour hair. No one else in my family would be as outspoken as I am. Like, as a kid, I was super outspoken. Sorry, I went off a bit on a tangent there. So, our whole family have grown up as atheists, pretty much, right? And I've said this to my nan, like, throughout life as well. Like, what do you think about reincarnation, for example? And she does believe in like angels and the spirit world and things like that, but she doesn't believe in God. She does not believe that there is like a god or whatever you want to call it, right? I say source, personally, source. But obviously God is the term. She doesn't believe in God, so she's like fully atheist, but she still has that spiritual sort of vibe to her. I get that spiritual vibe, but I'm more on a super deep level when it comes to that. My mum, chalk and cheese, mate. Like, for example, I'm super close with my nan, right? Like, more close to my nan than I am with my mum. I moved out of my mum's, well, I didn't move out. Basically, my nan was a foster carer growing up when I was younger, and she always had people in the house, whereas I was an only child, so it was like really boring for me to live with my mum. My nan went on holiday for 2 weeks, and because she was a foster carer, we had to stay in her house. And basically, when she came back, my mum went back home, and I didn't. So I stayed with my nan from the age of around 15 to 19, which is when I said I moved out, right? And so I'm super close with my nan. But even having said that, I remember sitting there and talking to her, like on the phone or whatever, and like we'd get into a weird, like spiritual conversation or whatever. And I'd say to her, I think that we are soul group spirits, nan. And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, because we're so close, we share such a close connection. I believe that we have been reincarnated many times together as souls, which is why we have this connection. And she's like, yeah, maybe. And then it's just like, ah, why does nobody think the way that I think? Like, I guess it's just easier sometimes. Like, ignorance is bliss, right? Because I don't know, maybe it's me. Maybe I shouldn't be thinking this deep into it, right? I don't know. But that's just the way that I feel. Like, if you've got this much of a connection with someone, this goes with like soul connection partners as well, yeah, twin flames and all that shit. So if you get that with someone, my belief is that they are of your soul group. Okay, so there's a group of souls that consistently incarnate with each other, helping you, going through different scenarios. So, for example, in this life, my nan is my nan, but in other lives, I've been her mum. She has been my sister. I've been her like brother. I've been her auntie or her uncle. We have had all of these different scenarios with each other throughout all of these lives, right? That's just something that I like to believe. But when I try and say any of this, she's just like, oh, it's really nice that you think like that, and I'm like, yeah, it is nice, but do you not feel it? And that's what gets me upset, if I'm being honest, because it's just like nobody in my family truly understands me. And I don't know whether that's normal. I don't know whether like everybody has that, or whether they, you're lucky enough to have a family member where you can literally talk about anything and they're just like, yeah, mate, totally get you. And they actually get you. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't even have like people in my life that truly get me like that, if I'm being completely honest. I don't. It's sad to say, but it's true. So I know that there is another path for me where I'm going to have to manifest other souls around me that are of like mind. Because even when I try and talk to like friends and that, they're just like, yeah, cool, it's nice. I'm just a black sheep everywhere. I don't know, mate. And am I normal? I don't know. Are you the black sheep? Have you felt this? Do you get what I'm saying? Where you just feel so fucking out of place? Because I left my family. I'm done now. Like I'll just go see my mum and my nan. That's it. I'll be happy if I just don't even see anybody ever. I don't talk to them. They don't talk to me. They don't need to know what I'm doing. I don't need to know what you're doing. Like, do you get me? Do you understand? Please tell me somebody understands. I literally put on black so that I can truly, truly get through to you how much of the black sheep I am in my family.